And we are recording. First of all, thanks to everyone who is watching this actual play. This is part 2 of the Super Smash Bros. Campaign. Now we have a new player, Alberto. He's going to be participating as Tanu. Alberto, why don't you tell us about your character?
Absolutely. So Tanu is a martial artist. He is someone who aspires to participate in the world martial arts tournaments, and he often finds himself in scraps, street fighting, competing and trying to win against what many may call the king of fighters and such and alike. And he wants to go beyond the journey and the fights, and wants to explore and adventure to not just strengthen and hone his fighting skills, but also hone and strengthen his mind and his spirit overall.
Yeah, I kind of picture him like a King of Fighters, Street Fighter sort of character. Very
That's
cool.
right.
Okay, Tyler, why don't you tell us about your expectations for today's game? What are your expectations for Johnny?
I think it's going to be easier to use the quirks like you mentioned earlier with burning more points, because that was something I realized after last session. I was like, oh yeah, we have these. And we can use those. I kind of felt like I was already playing into them, but I wasn't really, I kind of just missed that mechanic kind of faded away from me. So yeah, I expect to do a little more sneaking than I did last time. Got some more thoughts on how to incorporate that aspect into the world. So,
Okay. Now, Ryan, what are your expectations for Elroy?
Pretty similar. I think using last session, it was mainly using move and speed to get through obstacles, but Elroy is also a thinker, a planner, and has high Ys as well too. So I think incorporating more of that and making use more of that against harder challenges is likely going to be coming up.
Okay, perfect. Let's begin. So, in the previous part, the heroes had managed to defeat the evil king Sludger, and they went into the Avocado Outpost, guided by the rat acolyte of the bacteria, or rather the deity Tyria Back. The rat acolyte informed Elroy that because he purchased a special key, he can find locks throughout the level, and behind those locks, there are probably valuable things. So the heroes were put into the avocado cannon and shot into the next level, which is the super future city. And so they are flying through the air. The music changes to this upbeat sound, really probably the most amazing video game music that players have ever heard in their lives. The characters are exhilarated by this upbeat motion, and suddenly, bam, they land safely thanks to the avocado talismans they were equipped with. They land into this pool of avocado pulp just on top of a bullet train. The characters are on top of a bullet train. Each bullet train is composed of several cars, several sections. The gaps are easy enough to jump across them, and it is headed towards the northeast.
finally, something a little more my speed. Looks like we've got a +1 here.
We could definitely use some more help anyway, so I welcome it.
Don't think it's going to be getting any easier.
Elroy will look to see if the train is heading toward a visible destination.
It seems you need to go further ahead to get a better glimpse, but you managed to spot that below you there are several metal rails, a web of metal rails, in fact, and they all seem to be electrified.
Try to look for a hatch to drop into one of the train cars.
You don't seem to spot any. There are some windows that perhaps you can smash through them. However, just 2 cars ahead of you, you can see a mysterious looking lock. It's like a huge keyhole.
Well, I picked up something interesting for that, so I'm going to jump ahead. You're welcome to follow, and I will jump to the next train car.
Yeah,
Sounds like a good idea.
That is an automatic success. But suddenly, just as you are near the lock, You hear this horrible metallic noise above you, and you spot a swarm of metallic eyes with bat wings, and they have claws. Each one has 2 claws, and they are flying towards you at full speed.
All right, I'll start spraying. You try to get that lock open. Cock the machine pistol back and start blasting away.
I'm gonna make sure that no one gets hurt. So if it gets a little close and someone's about to take some damage, I'm willing to hold the ground and take the hit.
Johnny, roll bash.
That's a 6.
That's a success. You eliminate several of those robots. They are constructs. And they are probably the work of the evil Dr. Gnarly, as you have been informed. Now, Tanu needs to roll. Hold.
I have my highest is 6.
That's a success. You managed to shield Elroy from several of those bats. Elroy has now access to using his key if he wishes.
Yep, if I see, as I see Tanu protecting me and Johnny spraying, I will take that time to use the skeleton key on this lock.
It opens automatically, and inside you spot a mushroom. It's a pizza mushroom with some cheese and sauce on it. And suddenly a huge text box appears on top of it, and it says, "Magic mushroom. If you consume it, you will grow to be the size of an ogre for a limited amount of time."
All right, Elroy will be hanging on to that then and taking it and putting it into his pockets that seem to be endless as he fills it with items.
Yeah, you handle the mushrooms. I'll handle the unmanned drones. If a hind D appears, well, we know which one of us is going to handle that.
Suddenly you hear this loud thumping, and just in front of you, making their jumps across the different cars and sections, you see what appears to be a swarm of soldier helmets. They are greenish-looking helmets, and they are moving towards you, and some of them lift up a bit, and they reveal a goofy-looking robotic face, and it starts to spit energy balls at all of you.
Elroy will move to dodge the energy balls to avoid taking damage.
Roll move.
We'll try to do the same.
5 highest.
I'll roll to do the same.
6.
Everyone roll move.
5.
6.
It was successful. Now you spot an opening. They are quite vulnerable to your attacks because they are in an awkward position after you avoided their shots.
Let it rip. Let the pistol blast off straight away. 3 on bash.
That's a failure.
Let's see.
Elroy will move to jump on top of one while they're kind of recharging their blast and see if he can do some damage by landing on their heads.
Roll move.
4.
That's success. In fact, you managed to bounce, eliminating several of them. But Johnny got hit by one of the energy balls, and Johnny is stunned. And he's at the mercy of the bats that are swarming towards him.
I like to stand in front of Johnny and once more be a shield between me and the threat that's coming to threaten him as he's wounded.
Roll hold.
5.
That's a success. You managed to protect Johnny quite easily. But you realize that the rails ahead have been destroyed. And you're about to fall. All of the cars are about to fall into what seems to be the sunken underwater section of the city. There are buildings coming out of the water. You know for a fact, because you have seen these sorts of places before, that the water is quite safe to jump into, but who knows what lurks beneath those waters.
Jeez.
Johnny can now move.
Oh, all right. The suit seems to protect me. Thank you. I can run straight across this water now. I'll run on top of it, see if I can get an eye on whatever's in there, and then you guys can follow behind if you want me to take the first look.
The cars fall down and Johnny makes it safely. He is now standing on top of the water. But Tanu and Elroy are falling with the cars.
I quickly, at a moment's notice, I summon my magic carpet, a flying mount, to prevent me from falling into the water and being at the mercy of the unknown threats that lie below.
Automatic success.
Elroy will jump to Johnny's shoulder to avoid the water.
Roll move.
I'll try to position myself below him to help.
6.
Automatic success. Perfect landing. The cars fall into the water. The enemies fall with the cars. The metallic bats do not move towards you. They seem to be confined. Thank the programmers of the video game that there is this invisible wall and keeps them from following you. You are now in this sunken section of the city with some buildings coming out of the water. One building contains a huge lock.
My skeleton key, if it still exists after using it on one lock.
You look for your skeleton key and it is no longer there.
It looks like I traded it off for this mushroom, but maybe we have another way to get past a lock.
We always have another way to get past a lock. Bring out a rocket launcher.
The entire section of the building is destroyed along with the item inside. It seems to have been some sort of jalapeno, like a chili, but it has disappeared, disintegrated.
Damn, I was hungry.
We'll get them next time.
All right, well, now we know.
We'll need a softer touch next time.
Load another round onto the RPG, sling it over my shoulder. Well, maybe someone with some better ideas next time. This is why I usually call somebody, but surely I guess they forgot to program that for this level too. Well, here's for the next game.
Or we'll look around at the available path now that the locked side is destroyed.
The path seems to continue northeast. There are several more buildings coming out of the water. There's a huge section underwater. Pretty much the entire, perhaps several city blocks are underwater. And so far, there seems to be no movement in the water.
I wonder if I can maybe lean over at the ledge and perhaps try to get a glimpse as to what may be in the water.
Good idea. I'll cover you if any more of those drones come by.
Roll wise.
I roll a 1.
It's a failure. You cannot spot anything.
I got nothing. I can't see anything.
Well, that doesn't appear to be anything. Suppose we can attempt stealth. I don't know how good you are at that, but I'm willing to lead the charge on that, I suppose.
Well, anything's
can
worth a
move.
shot at this point.
I can move fast even underwater, so I'm comfortable exploring to see what's down there.
All right. Nice. Try to get a low profile, go prone and crawl along the surface of the water in a very strange, surreal way.
Johnny, roll, move.
4.
You see that in some places, there seems to be movement. There is some sort of small fish, perhaps 2 of them, moving throughout the buildings.
Hold up a hand and try to point silently to both of the fish.
Roll bash.
6.
You manage to shoot both of them, but then a swarm of metallic piranhas appear almost out of nowhere. Luckily, Elroy is in an advantageous position.
Well, these metallic piranhas are definitely going to cause a problem for us. I wonder if I can perhaps blast an energy blast, a Hadouken their way to see if I can inflict any damage or to at least scare them off at the very least.
I don't know, try something.
Roll bash.
4.
You eliminate several of them, but you hear again a metallic noise, and suddenly, out of the water, appear these hovering spiked balls. They are approaching each one of you.
Let's see. Well, reliable. Hasn't failed me yet. Line up a shot on the one gunning for me and try to blast into it any weak points I might be able to see.
Roll bash.
5.
As soon as your bullets touch these objects, they explode. They seem to be mines of sorts.
Ooh, steer clear of those if that wasn't obvious.
Elroy was ready to jump on one to hit it, but seeing that starts to backtrack and jump to avoid getting hit by the one coming for him.
And good
Roll
thing
move.
too, because I was going to grab one and try to throw it against another mine. That's a close call.
3.
You easily avoid that, but suddenly Elroy hears this huge noise, and a robotic whale appears from the waters, and it has this strange antenna, just like an anglerfish, a sort of weird antenna that is being produced from the forehead section, and it has a huge glowing ball. The 2 eyes of this metallic monster are also shining bright red, and it opens its mouth and starts to fire tracking missiles at all of you.
Elroy will use his bunny ears to quickly jump on top of the whale, so if any missiles are tracking him, they'll like turn around to hit himself.
Roll move.
3.
It's a failure.
I will burn a hold in order to reroll.
Roll again.
5.
You manage to do just that, and one of the missiles, by mistake, it strikes one of the eyes of the creature, and it goes off. But the creature keeps producing missiles, and now there are also hovering mines, and more piranhas are appearing.
I'm trying to get this angler thing down. It might be some sort of sensor or radar. Crouch down, aim up at a 45, and blast off another round.
Roll bash.
6.
Perfect shot. It was destroyed, but the other eye is still glowing.
I like to jump up, try to make an attempt to grab one of these missiles midair, and throw it back into the remaining eye.
Roll bash.
3.
It's a failure.
I like to burn 1 wise. So I can reroll again.
Yes.
4.
It's a success. You accomplish just that. And the missile goes into the other eye, and it goes off. And the creature starts to blink, and it explodes. As soon as that happens, all of the water, by some weird, strange levitation effect, it goes upwards with all of you within the waters. And you see this huge graphic of an arrow pointing up, and you see the letters say, and they say, go, go, go. Keeps going up. And then
Elroy swims.
Oh, yeah, hold on. Put you back on my shoulder. There we go. All right.
there is a moment when the water goes even beyond you. It goes into infinity. You completely miss it. You see it disappearing in the sky, and you hear this mysterious whistle, like an ocarina sound. And suddenly this strange platform, like a floating platform, appears underneath you, catching you safely. And there is a strange android standing on the platform. He is dressed completely in blue, but with a huge shield and a scarf. And he has this sick-looking shades, very rad, totally rad. And he speaks to you. I have been sent by Princess Avocado. I am Mega Proton Man. I am here to assist you.
Sweet.
Well, thank you for your help. We can use all the help we can need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I must warn you. Ahead, there is no solid ground. There are some platforms that keep on appearing and disappearing. And there are some clouds, but they are dangerous clouds. I have seen lightning, thunder coming out of those clouds. So you better watch out.
Well, luckily, my stealth suit should allow me to walk on most of those. Lightning, though, that's a problem.
Very well. I need to be elsewhere. Good luck. Keep going to the northeast. You will see those platforms over there. And as soon as he speaks, you can see these small platforms blinking in and out of existence. And you see some clouds. It's a path that keeps on going, made out of clouds and these disappearing platforms. Who knows how far, for how long.
Elroy will think for a moment and devise a plan of standing on Johnny's shoulder, and I'll watch the lightning so you can focus on jumping to the platforms, and if we're about to be struck, I'll tell you to move. That way you two can focus on the jumping.
Finally. Been waiting for a command center. Thanks.
I think that's as good as the plan gets, if you ask me. I say let's roll
Probably.
with it.
Hey, where'd you learn that, by the way? I didn't learn any CQC like that in basic.
My games are all like this, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, I guess that's right. Yeah. At least the missiles move a lot slower here. They just kind of kill me instantly whenever I get hit by them. It's really annoying. Well, let's hope we don't have to find out about that.
Everyone who is moving across the platforms and the clouds, roll move.
Another 6.
5.
Success. You're making your way across quite easily. But suddenly, you hear this motion just underneath you. There are rockets coming out of nowhere.
I try to make a quick glance to see where in the world these rockets are coming from. That way we know how we can deal with this threat.
Yeah, I'll shoot the ones out of the sky that are already coming.
I'll keep
Johnny,
my eyes
roll
up at the
bash.
clouds.
Tanu, roll wise.
5.
1.
You cannot identify where they come from. Johnny shoots several of them, but Elroy, from his vantage point, he realizes that if you fall from this place, it is instant death. The programmers did not program anything to save you from falling from here.
I'll yell to my comrades, if we fall, we're dead.
All right, I'm used to that at least.
I'm used to respawning after a match is over, but never being able to come back, no, that's a different story.
Yeah.
Well, even if we die, we'll probably still have to jump back over these, so we'll try to get across as quickly as we can.
Let's just keep moving.
You hear this strange noise just in front of you. A swarm of strange metallic-looking eagles with sunglasses start to shoot metal feathers at you. All of you.
Keep moving, keep shooting. It's what I'm best at.
Bash.
I attempt to get in front of some of these metallic wings and flex and make my skin as hard as I can and deflect these metallic feathers back at these eagles.
Roll hold.
Elroy will jump on the ones that aren't getting shot by Johnny, even if not to destroy them, but as platforms.
Tanu successfully carries out his action. The feathers are ineffective. And Elroy, roll move.
6.
You easily make your way across. They cannot even scratch you. And you notice that further on ahead, there is this huge metal tube, easily about 60 feet in diameter. And there is a huge metallic patch at the very top.
Am I able to jump over to the? Do I see if I'm able to jump over to the pipe, or is it too far from where I am?
Elroy attempts to say, I look at the distance to see if it is possible for me to jump towards that pipe. Make move.
4.
You barely avoid a rocket that was coming underneath you. And yes, you are now within distance. And it is easy enough for you to reach this metal tube, this huge metal tube. But it looks quite solid except for the patch area.
Let's see. I'll try to get over there as well, seeing that it's held him pretty solidly.
I'll also ask Johnny if he can blow up the patch area.
Yeah, should have something in here to plant.
Roll bash, Johnny.
That's another 6.
Completely destroyed by your bullets. You can now enter the shaft if you wish.
In an attempt to not fall too far behind, I look to see if one of these metal eagles is relatively still near me as I'm thinking about a way to cross this this gap to the other side.
Roll wise.
4.
Now you realize that there is an eagle nearby that has been distracted by Johnny's and Elroy's actions. It is almost lending itself for you to mount it if you wish.
All right, a leap of faith. Here we go. I decide to jump on this eagle and twist and turn it and try to tame it within seconds so I can fly across and meet up the rest of my teammates.
Automatic success. Everyone is within distance of this hole on the metal tube.
Sweet.
I'll jump in.
Climb in as well afterwards.
Automatic success.
Ground.
Everyone can easily jump into the hole. The moment you jump into this hole, you notice that it looks like a huge elevator shaft, a circular elevator shaft, and you land on top of a floating platform, and it starts to descend.
Let's see. Check. Magazines, that's right. I don't have to reload. RPG's ready. Rations. Oh, wait, I don't have to eat anymore. I think we're good.
Elroy will look around, seeing if there's anything like different about the parts as we go down, or if we just have to wait till we hit the end.
Roll wise.
4.
It's a success. As you descend, you don't find anything peculiar except you manage to spot a couple of robotic ninja just before they are about to attack you. And the ninja realize that you have seen them, and they clumsily pull out their katana and they jump at you.
This is my first foray with ninja.
I immediately
Roll
stand
bash,
up.
John.
Ooh, 3.
It's a failure.
I'm gonna burn a wise reroll. Another 3. My luck's run out.
You missed it, and one of the ninja actually slices off both of your legs. You are still alive because you're a video game character, but your pixelated legs have disappeared underneath you.
Wow, it should be an excruciating pain right now. I'm glad they didn't program that, though.
This could get a little dicey pretty quickly. I'm going to tap into my inner quirk and challenge one of these ninjas one-on-one, so that way there's less for the team to deal with, and I could focus on one and easily take him down by myself.
One of these robotic ninjas looks at Tanu and is about to attack with his katana.
I attempt to move quickly, try to dodge these attacks, and grab the katana and try to wrestle it away from him to disarm him and try to use it against him himself.
Roll either move or bash, your choice.
Bash it is. 5.
It's a success. You managed to do just that, and you can easily attack the ninja right now.
Oh yeah!
It is cut in half,
Slice him to
and you can
bits.
see the score of the points that you got for defeating the ninja. One ninja is left, and he starts to blink in and out, and suddenly becomes like a super ninja with red colors and almost like a ranger sort of armor, metallic like Transformer, Power Ranger sort of armor on top of it.
Coming out of my shock, I think, right, the Band-Aid, and then apply the Band-Aid to where the leg should be.
They appear immediately, and you still have your action.
Right, I'll start blasting off at the other one in a supine position.
Roll bash.
There we go. There's a 6.
Automatic success. The armor comes off. You see a pulsating yellow core underneath.
When Johnny reveals that, Elroy will take that time to move out of the way of the one attacking him and then jump to strike that pulsating core, seeing that it seems like a sort of weakness.
Roll move.
4.
You accomplish just that. And when you strike the core, everything about the ninja disappears. And suddenly the background changes color. It changes to between blue and purple. It starts to pulsate. And now, as the platform is descending, you see another being climbing up the shaft. It is a huge robotic gorilla, and it starts to shoot coconuts at the three of you.
Right. I suppose I'll shoot these down as well. That's all I'm good for in these games.
Roll bash.
5.
You destroy pretty much all of the coconuts, but they all, as you shatter the coconuts, they explode into icicles and snow.
All right. Plan B. Let's scatter and, well, do what you do best. Handle it in the way that you see fit. I don't know.
I decide to try to tap into my inner chi as a martial artist, and instead of blasting a ball of energy, I decide to try to blast a wave of air to try to shield and push all this snow and hail and ice away from us to protect the rest of the team.
Roll hold.
5.
Success. As that is like cleared up for us, Elroy will jump over to where the gorilla is climbing and jump on top, and at the same time eat the magic mushroom that I just received in order to fall and crush on the gorilla.
That's an automatic success. The gorilla is completely wrecked. Giant Elroy pretty much crushes the gorilla, and suddenly the shaft lands at the very bottom. And at the bottom of this shaft, there seems to be some sort of archway out into the city.
All right.
Before Elroy moves on, he'll take out his loop and examine the gorilla to see if there's anything I can obtain from analysis.
A huge text box appears, and it says, Elroy has the power of shooting ice balls.
Sweet.
I'll test it out against the wall a little bit. Very happy, and I'm ready to move on.
Sweet. That beats 45 any day.
Let's do it.
All right.
As soon as you exit into the streets of the city, or rather out in the streets, you see this huge mecha, this huge robot. It looks like a combination of robot with an egg-shaped body, 2 arms, 2 legs, and it is stomping on the people in this city. All the horror, they explode into pixels. It is killing everyone. And inside, at the very top, there is this crystal dome, and you see who is surely Dr. Gnarly, an old man dressed in a lab coat, decorated with palm trees and coconuts. He has these purple-looking shades, and he's, Kawabunga, you think you can stop me, huh?
I've stopped worse. thermonuclear bombs on their way to... Oh, wait. No, it's not a real country, is it? Never mind. Pull out the rocket launcher and aim at one of its legs.
As soon as the projectile impacts the leg is unharmed completely. And Gnarly laughs. Ah!
All right. All right. I'm going to try to get close to it. I've got a new plan of action.
Roll move.
6.
You're pretty close to it.
I'm going to begin climbing up one of the legs.
Roll move again.
Ooh, that's 2.
You cannot climb the leg, and it actually kicks you. And now you are stunned, paralyzed.
Elroy, I have an idea. Do you think you can pick me up and try to drop me over the dome of this giant robot? I think I might have an idea.
I check my body to make sure I'm still the size of an ogre.
You are still the size.
I see.
Then yes.
Now you're going to be rolling bash, but because you are that size, you roll 3 dice.
5.
It's a success. And Tanu is launched into the air and lands on top of the dome. And Dr. Gnarly, wait, what are you doing?
For you, this is the day you try to ruin the city. For us, this is just going to be any other Tuesday. And I jump up, and using my stone mask, my body turns into completely heavy and rock solid, well, rock, and try to slam down on the dome and try to do as much damage as I can.
It's an automatic success. You destroy the dome, but immediately this sort of metal sphere surrounds Dr. Gnarly in an instant. And Elroy goes back to his original size. The robot collapses, and now Dr. Gnarly appears in this metallic egg. There is a small window allowing him to see outside. The egg produces 2 metal pincers, and it starts to shoot energy balls at the 3 of you.
All right.
One of them hits Johnny automatically. Johnny is now dead.
Oh,
Because you are accustomed to video game deaths, you know that Johnny will respawn in a few moments, but as a ghost. If everyone dies, it is game over.
Elroy will move from the energy ball and then see if there's any weaknesses or control panels that are on the ball that's left over he's encased in, to see if there's somewhere he could like pry open and climb inside, but first move out of the way of the energy.
Roll move first.
3.
You avoid them easily enough. Now roll wise.
4.
Just underneath the metal object, there is this suspicious reddish area. Like, it seems to be a combination of metal and glass at the same time, but it's very different from the rest of the egg.
Elroy will use the last use of his bunny ears to speed up his movements and then do what a mouse does best and start clawing and biting at it in order to pry, and maybe if there's a wire loose, bite it in.
Roll bash.
Okay, 1, but I will burn a wise. 3.
You manage to get inside, and the moment that happens, Dr. Gnarly pushes a button and ejects himself, and he's now trying to escape, floating on this strange surfboard.
In an attempt to catch him and prevent him from getting away, I say, not so fast. And I try to rip apart a chunk of the a piece of metal from the robot that we have just befallen, and try to chuck it at this escaping vigilante and try to knock him out of the sky or do something.
Roll bash.
4.
It's a success. You knock him out of the surfboard, and Dr. Gnarly falls on his knees and starts to cry and begs for his life. He says, "Please, I didn't mean it. Please, don't do anything to me."
Well, you did an awful lot to this city. I'm not sure if that's just leaving you be would be the exact right thing to do.
It's all my mother's fault. My mother's fault. My mother's fault. And suddenly his head comes off loose, and it is actually attached to this spring. It was some sort of robot copy of Dr. Gnarly. And off into the distance, you see him escaping in this sort of egg-shaped saucer. And out of nowhere, you see this beam of energy that shoots in the surface where you are standing, and Mega Proton Man appears and says, "Let's hurry. Princess Avocado told me to chase down Dr. Gnarly. We need to catch him before he joins forces with Count Bloody Bad. Follow me to the next outpost."
All right, well, we better hop to it.
And he says, "By the way, here's 60 currency for you to spend later on."
Thank you. That's definitely going to come in handy.
And suddenly, Mega Proton Man produces this sort of gun and shoots at Johnny. Johnny was about to respawn as a ghost, and returns him back to life. Ugh. And he says, "This is a cloning gun made by Dr. Mites. Now you are able to continue the battle."
I think that makes me a clone of a clone. I'm not going to think about it too much. Let's keep going.
And so the level fades to black. You can see the score screen appearing, and you have completed this level. Moving on to the final level. We are now out of character. The game has ended. Well, that was pretty great. I don't know about you, but that was pretty fun.
Oh, yeah.
That was really good.
I had a blast, actually.
Mm. Yeah, for only having played 3 tabletop RPGs, you felt right at home. So.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I mean, the whole hobby of tabletop role playing is still relatively new and very fresh to me. But I've just been watching a lot of videos, just trying to understand. And I found a lot of video content that Abraham has made on Talking About Games, his channel. I found it to be really helpful, and I just pretty much just implemented it and just really focused on the role play. And I had a lot of fun, actually. I would say I had more fun in this session than I did in the other 2 sessions that had the can I do this? Can I do that?
Yeah.
So I think it makes a difference, actually.
The system is so nice, too, because we can just take tropes that that are outside of tabletop role-playing games and just do them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I also really like the creativity that you 3 have been applying. I gave you a lot of automatic successes because that was pretty like turning into stone on top and using the magic mushroom. And every time Johnny went wild with the guns, pretty amazing use of your powers and limitations, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I was out at the end. I was afraid there was more because I was like, okay, I've used everything.
Yeah, I got burned by taking a risk. I was trying to recover my burn by using a braver to run in, and well, that point's no good if you're dead. So
yeah, I think in this session Johnny played it very riskily, maybe because you took many actions. That way you ended up quite hurt. That you cut your legs and then you got kicked.
Yeah, playing a sort of Solid Snake loud.
Well, that was perfect. And thanks to everyone who was watching the actual play. If you have any comments or questions, please write them down in the comments section. We're going to be playing in 2 weeks. We're going to continue to the final part of this campaign. Hopefully, our heroes will defeat this great evil in the video game world. As always, if you wish to support the channel, please check out the description. And remember that it is better to roleplay than fail in character, and not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you, and we are stopping the recording right now.